I'll be starting with the previous example we were doing while the error handling session. So now we will take that contract only. So we'll use this contract error handling. We have used it before. So let's do one thing. We'll actually divide this contract into two parts. Let's say a contract with the name owned. Okay, so we'll put some parts into it which are not used over here. So we'll put the owner and the constructor with it. And then we'll also shift the modifier. So now you can see we have divided the contract into two parts. One is containing only the owner variable, the constructor for the owner and the modifier for the owner. So just in a case, you can see that either you have defined it earlier, you have defined the owned contract earlier, or somebody else have defined the owned contract earlier, whose some functionality or parts of codes you want to use in this error handling contract. So we can directly do it by inheritance. By inheritance, you can take all the code from here and it will be pasted out here apparently. So you can basically reuse the code already mentioned in owned. Let's give it a try. Just write is then owned. Now you can see all the errors have gone away. So now you can easily work on this. Let's try deploying it once. We have to check the withdraw function. Okay, so deployed. We'll give it some ethers. Get money. We'll check the balance. Okay, we'll go to some other account. We'll try withdrawing all the money. Okay, so it has been reverted. You are not the owner. That means this is being called. And one more thing to remember, that when inheritance is done, you have to call the contract which is the child contract. So error handling is the child contract, so you have to deploy that. You will get two options, either owned or error handling, anyone you can compile or deploy, but then you are supposed to deploy the child contract. So basically this is the parent contract, this is the child contract. Now if this whole code, the owned code, is directly in some other file, so how can you use it in your code? So let's copy it, let's paste it in some other file. Let's call it as owned3.sol. We have copied it. We'll go and paste it out here, and obviously we have to write the pragma line. Okay, you can see this has got compiled correctly. This is working. Now what about this? You remove this part. Okay, removed. Now this is again showing errors as it cannot see the owned contract. Now what we can do, we can directly import. Just write import dot slash and then owned3 dot sol. Dot slash is used for this directory only, and then a semicolon. So now you can see all the errors have gone and it is being imported, and after getting imported, this is working. The error handling is taking codes from the owned, which is defined in owned3.sol, and it is working. Let's give it a deploy. We'll delete the previous one. We'll send some ethers. Get money. We'll check the owner. It is BFF2. We'll check the balance. Okay, 10 ethers. This is the owner. We'll go to some other person. Try to withdraw. Okay, there is an error. You are not the owner. Let's try from the owner one. Let's try to withdraw. Okay, the transaction is successful. So you can see how we have imported the smart contract from another file. Now next I'll show you how to import files directly from the GitHub and elsewhere. So we'll go to the GitHub. Just write github.com. Then we'll go to the Open Zeppelin project. So I have it over here. You just copy the same spelling and then click on it. So Open Zeppelin is basically a company type of thing who are developing the Solidity, and it is also MIT authorized, which is a very good thing. So they are developing a lot of smart contracts which you can directly inherit or import and use it in your smart contracts. So we'll check out the contracts. Then in the contracts we'll go for the access, and in the access we'll go for ownable.sol. Let's click on it. Let's see what is there. So in the ownable.sol, it is basically the same owned function or the owned contract we were having. So here we have same address private owner, it's just private. Then we have the constructor, which is putting the message.sender in this owner. So that's how it works. It also has the same modifier, only owner. So let's try to import this. So how to import it? You copy the link till here, till this part, Open Zeppelin contracts. Copy, just remove this previous one, write import, paste it, and then you go over here and then you will see copy path. Just copy the path and paste it out here with a slash. So here we have got it. Remove this is owned. So we have got it. Now we'll just check what is the contract name. The contract name is ownable. Just copy the spelling and import it. Just check the spelling again. Okay, it's a capital O. Yes, and the semicolon obviously. So yes, we are done with it. It will show that loading. Once, okay, it's getting loaded, and there is some error out here. Okay, you don't need this. We have put the revert function. You don't need it anymore. You can directly specify only owner out here. Simple. Now it's working. We have imported this from the GitHub directly. Here we have the contract. Now we'll give it a deploy and we'll run it. Simple. Just put in some ethers to send. You can see here is the contract already deployed. Let's click on get money. So all the 10 ethers will come into this contract. We'll check for the owner. Okay, here is the owner. Let's check on the balance. So the balance is right now 0. Okay. So 10 ethers, we'll send 10 ethers, get money. Okay, transacted. Let's check the balance now. Okay, 10 ethers. Now we'll try with some other account. This account, we'll copy. Let's try to give this account some money. So withdraw. How much? Let's say 10, the whole thing. Let's click on withdraw. It should fail. Okay, it has failed because it's written caller is not the owner. You can't see it over here because it is written directly in the Open Zeppelin contract, ownable.sol. We'll try with the, just a second. We'll try with the owner, this one. And now we'll try to withdraw the money. Let's check. Okay, it's working. And we'll check the balance. It should be 0 right now after withdrawing. Okay, 0. So we have done till here.